All right. Well, hi, everyone. My name's Tori Sullivan, for those of you who don't know me, and I'm going to give you a quick background of my story because it's going to be really pertinent to what I'm talking to you guys about tonight. I started coaching a little over 2 years ago. I have had my, normal ebbs and flows since I started, but I have had a rough road from very early on. For those of you who don't know, I have been in 2 tornadoes. I was a survivor of a terrorist bombing in Uganda. In last fall, I got pregnant. Well, let me back up a little bit. The reason that I started my health journey to begin with was because I was extremely unhealthy. I was having a lot of health issues, and we were told that we probably wouldn't be able to conceive, and that was like a knife to my heart, because for any of you that know me, motherhood is like one of my defining things. I love being a mother. And so I told myself I've got to get it together, and I'm going to try to do something to prevent or turn the situation around. So then we ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, and she's amazing. And she'll be 2 in December. And then last summer, we got pregnant with my son. And in the fall, we found out that he had hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which means that half of his heart didn't grow the way that it needed to, and it wasn't sustainable for life outside of the womb. And as my pregnancy progressed, we found out more and more about his condition. And every time we went to the doctor, it was worse and worse and worse. And we just kept believing that everything was going to be great, and chose to really learn a lot from his story and everything that he was teaching us through his life. And then he was born in April, and he was absolutely amazing. And for those of you who got to see him, he's just like a little ray of sunshine. And then he went for heart surgery. They found out that he was unable to be operated on, and he passed away that night when he was almost 5 days old. So that being said, I know life gets hard. And I know a lot of you struggle with difficult things when it comes to coaching. And we all have those things where it just makes us feel like, how do we move on from this point? So tonight I'm going to talk to you about authenticity and about how to handle life while coaching, and how to make coaching your life. Because in those moments, it was either okay, this is going to end my coaching career. Because what I was able to do was I was working 2 jobs. I didn't even talk about the coaching side of things. I was working 2 jobs that I was really unhappy in. I loved teaching, but I did not like the situation that I was in. My finances were really in a bad spot, and I never got to see my family because I was working 2 jobs. I would leave school, and then I would go tutor, and I wouldn't get home until like 8 or 9 at night. And so coaching, this opportunity came, and I was able to leave both my jobs and be home. And so when everything happened with Caden, it was either, okay, I give up coaching because I don't know how to do this anymore, or I freaking run with it. And that's what I did. So the thing I want to start talking to you guys today about is I've been listening to the Desire Map Experience. And it just kind of reshifted everything about my why, about what we do and why we do it. And I know when you start as a coach, so you've all been there. Raise your hand if when you started as a coach, you had this image of what you were going to be. You were going to be like this fitness pro working out on Facebook, drinking your shakes, and you were going to like be this awesome, whatever, like you're a coach now. You had this image of who you were going to be. Anybody like that? Because that was totally me when I started. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be like, so you have this image of who you're going to be, and then you get into it and you're like, this is nothing like what I thought I was going to be. Because what happens is you're like going and you're running off of adrenaline. You're so excited. And I don't even remember where I was listening to this. It may have been in the Desire Map. But so what happens scientifically is you're running off of adrenaline. And this happens when you start a new exercise program or a new diet. And you're like, yes, you're totally in. You're giving everything you have plus what you don't have, because your body is like taking everything out of you with adrenaline. And then you hit that point where your body just can't go anymore, and the adrenaline wears off, and you're like, oh crap. And you realize that you've been pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring into coaching, into your fitness program, into whatever. And yes, you hit the resistance. And so what she was talking about was become comfortable, embrace the resistance, lean into the resistance, and allow it to strengthen you. Because when you hit that resistance, it's very easy for you to be like, back off. Because what's happening is your cells, your body, you're actually changing everything that you were. You're creating new habits. You're becoming a new person. You are, being vulnerable. You're whatever. So you're completely regrowing your cells, your body, everything that you are becoming. So you hit all this resistance. Your body's like, what are you doing? You're changing everything. But what happens is when you work through that resistance, you end up on the other side stronger. It's like rolling down a hill. You're going to catch these things. And I talked about this in another video. You're going to catch these things and then you're going to hit a log and it's going to slow you down. Or you're going to fall in a hole and you're going to need somebody to pick you back up. But then you continue building that momentum. And eventually you're going to be going so fast that those little bumps and those little holes and things aren't going to stop you anymore. So, we all have this picture of coaching and then we hit that point. And I want to help you guys out of that point where you're feeling like stuck, where you're afraid to be authentic, because we think that we have to fit that mold. We think that we have to be a certain thing to be a Beachbody coach. And I know a lot of newer coaches think this too. And even some of us older coaches, I even caught myself doing this not too long ago, like a couple weeks ago, where I felt like I had to be somebody. I had to be a certain thing. So like my whole life, I was trying to be something, and I thought, well, that something can't do this. Or so I'm picturing this woman, this housewife, this traditional Southern housewife, which is what, like, I kind of fit into that category. And so I was like, well, a traditional Southern housewife could never blah, blah, blah. She would never post about this on Facebook. She would never get a tattoo. She would never have pink and yellow hair, so I would catch myself doing these things when in reality, we need to not try to be something and just be authentic, be exactly who we are. And who cares if we don't fit some magazine mold of whatever everybody tells us that we need to be, because you know what? That's not relatable. People might look at a magazine and go, that would be nice. But who is going to look at that and be like, oh, that's me? Because I don't relate to that. I don't relate to perfection. You know what I do relate to? When somebody posts and they're like, my toddler pooped everywhere and I'm crying in the bathroom because I'm losing my mommy mind. Like, those things are relatable. And those are the things that when you whatever your people, whatever you think to yourself, that's what your people are thinking too. And that's what they're going to grab a hold of. And that's what they're going to connect to. So I had to kind of strip myself of everything that I thought I needed to be, every rank I thought I needed to achieve, every financial rung that I thought I needed to get to, every Success Club goal that I thought I had to have. I had to strip it away. And I'm not telling you those things are not important, because clearly if you're building a business, they are. But they should not be driving you. So I actually had to step back and say, okay, these things are no longer goals for me because I don't like who I'm becoming trying to chase those things. And I had to say, what do I really want? What is really going to make me happy? Because if I'm doing this and I'm not happy, it's not worth it. I can find something else to do. We talk so much about how this is our dream life, about how we have freedom, about how, we can create our own schedule and we're happy and it's lifted all these weights off of us. But if we are hating the journey to get to the end result, then it's not what we're saying it is. It's not freedom. We're bound by these restrictions that we're placing on ourselves. So I had to go, okay, what do I want to feel? I want to feel like I'm making a difference. That is what drives me. When I feel like I'm changing somebody's life, when I feel like somebody is better because of what I did, I'm golden. That's what I want. So I had to define that. I also had to define, I have to feel joy. If I am in a place where I'm feeling stress or I'm feeling negativity or I'm feeling defeated, that's not okay, especially in the place that I'm in with the things that I've been through, because that will send me into a downward spiral. I cannot have that. And that's what we get to do in this business. We get to decide how it makes us feel and what we want from it. And so I said, all right, this is what I want. And I want to be authentically 100% me. And I'm just going to put it out there. And sometimes it's going to be ugly and it's going to be messy and it's going to be sad and it's going to be freaking hard. But that is what's going to get me to my end goal of wanting to change people's lives. of wanting to make people better. When they see me in those vulnerable moments, when I just ate a whole cake because I was emotional eating, because it's a struggle of mine, because I'm struggling with anxiety or grief or whatever, they're going to say, yes, that's me. I relate to you. Or whenever I say like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted because Adeline didn't sleep last night, or because I'm fighting all these thoughts of not being good enough, people go, oh my gosh, yes, I relate to that. That's me. And do you know what started happening? I started getting messages from people saying, do you know that video that you just did? I felt like you were talking directly to me. That is what I want. Do you know that post that you just posted? It made me tear up because I can relate to those feelings. Those are my people. I want what I say to matter. So who cares about and this, you know what, guys, this might blur some lines a little bit, but like, who cares about your workout post if it's fake? If you struggled through your workout and it sucked and you had to stop 10 times, you better post that, because that is your people. And they look at you and they're like, well, why is she not struggling? Why can't I do this? And then they give up because you're not showing them the true story. How is that fair to anyone? It's not. And you know what? People stay around longer. Jen and I have a ongoing challenge group, and our challengers are becoming coaches, and they're sticking around, and they're on Shakeology for months, because you know what? We're in it with them, and we've become a family with them, and they have bought in to this lifestyle. It's no longer somebody posting a motivational quote and their guns on Facebook. It's real life. That's what this is. That's what we do. That's what makes this so much different than any other MLM that's out there, is we put ourselves out there in hopes that we can change one life. One. That's what matters. Forget 10 Success Club points. Forget challenge packs. Forget all of that. You focus on one person. Today, who's my one person? Whose life am I going to make better today? One person. And you go after them, and you change their life with your life. That's the cool part. You don't have to do anything crazy special. You don't have to be talented. You don't have to be a fitness professional. You be you, and then you touch your people. Because your people are not my people. My story's not going to touch them. And my people are not your people, and you can't reach them. There are people specifically out there that are craving what you have, what you've overcome. Even if it's yesterday, you got off of your butt and you walked outside for 5 minutes. Somebody needs that. Someone needs that. Someone needs your story. Even if you've been in this for one day, what was that trigger? What made you change? What made you decide that it was time right now? You share that story, and I promise you, you share it from your heart. You get live on Facebook. Maybe you cry. Who cares? That's real. Somebody is going to see that and go, oh my gosh, they did it, and I'm going to do it too. That is coaching. Not all this hookity-pookity about clean eating, which is great. Everybody needs to know that stuff. But like, if you just spew clean eating at people, how is that relatable? Like, not me. Not at all. Like, if you tried to talk to old Tori and you were like, you need to stop eating canned soup and put your sodas down because you need to clean eat, I would have looked at you and laughed, because I couldn't do that, because I had to figure this out first, and this, my heart, before I could ever figure out the other stuff. And that's why, boom, you put yourself out there, you share your story, you blah, blah, blah. Okay, now I'm going to look at my notes because I've just been like ranting. Okay. Oh, guys, these are people. These are not prospects. These are not customers. These are old yous. Think about who and what would have changed you. You're talking to old you. What would have like got you in the heart a little bit? And sometimes, it's okay to sometimes say things that are a little, sing a little bit. That's all right. But what would have touched your heart? What would have made you listen? Think about that, because these are people. These are not robot customers. These are not number prospects. This is not client number 365. These are your friends. These are your family. These are your sisters, your brothers, your fathers, your uncles, your grandmothers, your daughters. These are people. People first. This is a people first company. And if you run with this people first, heart first soul desires first, success follows. And that leads me to this quote. If you focus on results, you will never see change. But if you focus on change, results will happen. I posted this in our challenge group the other day, and I think it's so important for us as coaches to think about too, because we get so focused on trying to hit the next goal. I want to change. I want to be Ruby. I want to be Diamond. I want to be Star Diamond. I want to do this. I want to go to this. And we focus on the change, but we don't focus on like the feelings, the how to get there. We focus on the results, the end goal. We don't focus on the change, like what really needs to happen. And when we shift our focus from the results, from the end goals, and we focus on just change, one baby step, one change, one thing better today than yesterday, the results just come. You don't have to think about them. You don't have to focus on them. It just happens. People are attracted to that. People are attracted to that calm, cool confidence. That like, I have got this because I've decided in my head, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is where I'm supposed to be. And I'm going to change your life whether you like it or not. When you carry that confidence about you, when you believe so much in what you have to offer, and if you don't believe that yet, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get real close to you. You have so much to offer. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you've never been through something ridiculously crazy. Your story matters. Your mess becomes your message. It matters. You matter. And you have the potential to change lives. Stop doubting that. Stop it. Because every time you doubt yourself, that's somebody's life that you didn't change. That's somebody's life that you didn't make better because you doubted. They need you. You need you. If this is for nothing else than you, you need to believe in you because you need to be happy. You need to smile. You need to feel confident because then you exude that and your whole life changes. Guys, how do you think that I was able to get through this crap? It wasn't because I'm strong or I'm like better than somebody else. No, it was because I decided in my head that that was the only option. Joy is the only option. There is no other option. So guess what? Success, feeling what you want to feel, that's your only option. Period. You leave this call tonight and you say, I want to feel X, Y, Z. Define 3 things that you want to feel authentically. What do you really want to feel? I don't care if it's rich, sexy, whatever, happy, free, in control, empowered, whatever it is that you want to feel, you decide 3 things. What are the 3 things that you want to feel? And then nothing else is an option. Every single morning you wake up and you say, today I'm going to feel X, Y, Z. And then you do it. And you don't allow anything else to be an option. That's how you survive. That's how you thrive. And you overcome whatever crap that's going on. And you share it. You share that stuff. Guys, the stuff that I share, I don't think about it. This is my next point. I don't think about it. I just do it. This is what I'm feeling right now. I get on a live video and I say it. And sometimes it's seriously mumbo jumbo and Adeline's crying in the background and then my camera tips over and my light crashes, everything breaks, and that's real life. And people go, okay, she's a normal person. Who cares? Let me tell you this. Maybe this will get you. So right now, maybe you're sitting there and you're going, okay, I could do this, this, this. I have all these fantastic ideas. I'm going to do all these great things and I'm going to sit down, I'm going to plan them and it's going to be fantastic and I'm going to just do it and it's going to be great. And you're sitting and you're writing your notes and you're planning all these things and you have like 10 different notes thing in your phone and like 3 different journals and like 5 different Word documents and you're like, yes. And maybe you've even talked to somebody about all your great ideas. But you know who's winning? Is the person who has a great idea and just does it. And maybe it flops. So maybe it flops 10 times and it's successful 10 times. They're 10 times more successful than you just sitting there planning how successful you're going to be. Take that one. So yeah, maybe they fail more than you, but they're also more successful. Leaders, successful people fail all the time. Just do it. Just put yourself out there. Post the post. You can delete it later if it's absolutely awful. Like if you absolutely hate it and you can't stand looking at it anymore, then just delete it. But just do it. Because you never know who's going to need that at that moment. And like I said, so what if you cry or you look ridiculous or you don't have makeup on? Guys, you should see some of my live videos. I'm looking real cute. But then people see that and they're like, okay, she's a normal person. If she can do it, so can I. In her messy life with all the stuff that she's going through and she can do it, then so can I. That's so can I. That's what builds your business. So can I's build your business. When they can find something they can relate to you about, that's when you grow. And that's when, this is where the good stuff comes in. You find your tribe. You find people that you actually desire to work with. And it's exciting because you're like, oh my gosh, these are my people. Like they get me, they understand me, they are me. We just gel because you're authentically being you and you're finding the people who love that and who are that and who want to be that. The best feeling is when somebody comes to you broken and then a couple weeks, a couple months, you see them and they're a totally different person. They've evolved into that person they wanted to be. Because you are attracting what they want to be. You're attracting your people. They're becoming those things. It's amazing. Okay. So, last thing, and then I'm going to let us all debrief. And I'll read the comments because I can't even focus over there. I'll get distracted. I want you all to learn to let go. Let go of everything that when you were a baby brand new coach, you thought you had to be. Let go of all of the things that somebody told you you needed to be. Let go of society's definition of who you are. Let go of everything that at some point in your life you decided you had to accomplish that absolutely does nothing for you anymore. And focus on the things that make you tingly inside. Focus on the things that make you excited. That when you talk like this, like me, because you can't help it. It just spews out of your mouth. Focus on those things. And let go of everything else. Just let it go. If you don't want to feel something, don't feel it. If you don't want something to control you, don't let it. And I'm not just talking to you as somebody who doesn't know what it's like. Guys, I have been in the trenches. You decide. You get to decide. So let it go and focus on the good stuff. Focus on those 3 feelings when you wake up every day and nothing else is an option.